Hi, it's Dr. Parikh, and today we're talking about how to organize your ideas into an outline. This outline is extremely structured, and you can see when you look at the literature review themes outline template, I describe a little bit the process and what I expect. There's a rubric that will tell you exactly how you're going to get graded, but there's also this template. So you want to use the template, and it really leads you through. It describes what every paragraph is supposed to be. You can also look at the sample paper, or I'm sorry, the template for the whole paper. I kind of describe what each paragraph is there, and you can look at the sample papers for ideas. And so there's actually a lot of places to get a sense of what you're supposed to put in each section for the outline. Sorry, you can hear my voice is having a rough time keeping up with all these videos. So each paragraph needs a topic sentence, but that kind of comes later. So for your concept map, you really just needed to figure out what your themes and your supporting ideas were. Now you have to think about how those fit in to an outline. Let's start with the themes first, and I'm just going to move this down so it's a little easier to see. So for a theme, you want to figure out kind of first, how do they group into paragraphs? And there are some specific rules for this. You have to have, each paragraph needs to cite 2 different articles, and each theme needs to cite at least 3 articles total. I do this because even when students are trying really hard, I know it's tough to integrate the information, to not just go article by article. And so I essentially force you to find a way to do that, because I know it's hard to struggle with it, you know, if I'm not making you, basically. So I know it feels really legalistic, and I don't do it that intensely for any other classes, but here it's meant to help you learn a new way of doing things. And so I want to really push you, and it's a great guideline. If you have any paragraphs that are not citing more than 1 article, I have some serious concerns about that paragraph. So you want to think about kind of how the supporting ideas under the themes cluster. And generally you're going to have 2 paragraphs under each theme. You could have 3 or 4, it's not a big deal. More is always okay. Less is usually not okay, at least for this paper, because it's meant to be such a training wheels paper. I want it to be a really typical average looking paper. And so you may just play with your concept map a little more, trying to get things to break down into ideas. And you want to think about telling a story, almost like, okay, how can I make a flow chart or a timeline with this? How do I tell the story? How do I develop? And even before even before you get into your themes, you have this background paragraph that's supposed to funnel down. You start really broad. So you start with just kind of broad, what is the topic here? You know, if you're talking about a disorder, talk a little, give a sentence or 2 about what that disorder is, how it's diagnosed, what the symptoms are, whatever makes sense for your paper. You want to make sure the information is relevant for how you're talking about the topic still. So that's what I call a broad background supporting idea. You might need to look at another article or a book, not a textbook. Textbooks are secondary sources. The authors have not done any of their own research. They are just putting information together for students based on other sources. You need to use primary sources for this. So journal articles are primary sources, and scholarly books, so books that are not textbooks, where the author is sort of stating their own opinions along with things. Opinion is a hard word, because they are still based on scholarly theory, evidence, research. If you're not sure if a book is a textbook or a primary source, just email it to me and ask me. I'm happy to look at it for you. You can also look in your textbook and see who they cite, because they're saying everything not based on, oh, trust me, I know, but they're citing and documenting where the information is coming from. And then maybe you could look up that original source. Don't just repeat it and repeat the citation, because if I call you on that, that's not going to go well for you. But look up the article or the book and look at it for yourself, and then say, okay, I'm going to cite that. Then you're funneling down, so you start off really broad at the top, and then you get closer to your themes. So you're going to have a couple 1 to 2 complete sentences where you are giving the reader some clues. You're getting closer to what you're actually going to talk about. It's still some background information, but you're getting more specific. So your background paragraph, you really think of like a funnel to start from what is the topic in general to what am I going to be talking about here. Within each theme, you want to think about how you're going to, it might be funneling, but it might also be kind of telling a linear story. So you might think of a funnel, you might think of a flow chart, a timeline, but you need to find some way to organize your information. There's usually several different ways you could organize it, which is part of what can feel overwhelming to students, but there's no one right way to do it. I'm open to, there's a lot of different ways you can do it. What matters is that there's some system, there's some reason for how you're presenting the information, and that you make that reason clear to readers. You let readers know how each idea connects with the next one and the one before it. Each paragraph is going to get a topic sentence, but it's easiest to write this at the end. I find when I'm writing, I almost always have to go back and write my topic sentence, or I'll end my paragraph and realize that I have written the most beautiful topic sentence as the last sentence of my paragraph, because we tend to want to summarize and emphasize the main point when we're all done. But in scientific writing, this is not a murder mystery. We don't find out at the end, ta-da, isn't this interesting? I led you through this logical proof and now there's this interesting finding. No, we tell them right from the beginning, here's what I want you to know. And here's how I'm going to explain all the support for that idea. You may also do a brief summary in the last sentence of your paragraph, but for the most part, your summary is your topic sentence. And remember, I've shown you in other videos how in a well-written article or book chapter, you can kind of cheat by reading the topic sentence and getting not the details. You're obviously missing a lot, but you can get a sense of what the article or book chapter is talking about just by reading the topic sentences. Your paper should be like that too. Readers should be able to read just the topic sentences and understand the main points of your paper. Make sure that you are including at least 2 different in-text citations, and you might have more supporting ideas. You might have 1C and 1D, and you might have, 1 idea from one article and then 3 ideas from another article. That's okay. You don't have to be perfectly balanced. And then you'll do another paragraph, and you need to have some sort of rationale for how these paragraphs are getting divided. Why are they being divided? And they need to be divided. If it's much more than 5 or 6 sentences, you need to find a way to divide it. If it takes up much more than, if it's half of a double-spaced page by the time you're done, that needs to be divided because it's going to be really tough for readers to follow. To do that for 2 themes, you'll make sure that you use 3 articles total, or 3 articles total in each theme. So 2 per paragraph, 3 per theme. You don't need some sort of introductory paragraph for each theme. You can just go right into your first paragraph and just jump to it. And again, look at sample papers. Anytime you feel stuck, go look at some samples. Look at a new sample. Look at an old sample. Read the text. Watch the video again. And remember, there's the paper template that describes all of this using slightly different words. Sometimes I would look at one while I wrote the other, but for the most part, I kind of wrote them at 2 different times, which is nice because you get 2 different ways of me trying to say the same basic information. Good luck with your outline. It's exciting to be doing your outlines. It's going to be good. Bye.